Today I got the Holy Bible with me, and I wanted to do this blog about the Gospel of John in chapter 6. So my YouTube statistics are telling me that you guys actually like me getting on my bike and getting out there on the road for you guys, and doing a motovlog of whatever kind that might be. So I'll see if I can go for a bit of a ride after I actually read to you the Gospel of John chapter 6. Alright guys, let's get into chapter 6 here. Okay. After these things, Jesus went over to the Sea of Galilee, which is the Sea of Tiberias, and a great multitude followed him because they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were diseased. Okay, so what he's saying here is that Jesus was raising people on the from the dead. So he says here they saw his miracles, which he did on them that were diseased. So he must have brought them up from the dead. Okay, and Jesus went up into a mountain, and there he sat with his disciples. And the Passover, a feast of the Jews, which was near, if you like. When Jesus then lifted up his eyes and saw a great company come unto him, and he said unto Philip, Whence shall we buy bread that this might eat? And this he said to probe him, for he himself knew what he would do. Philip answered him, 200 penny worth of bread is not sufficient for them, that every one of them might take a little. One of his disciples, Andrew, Simon Peter's brother, said unto him, There is a lad here which hath 5 barley loaves and 2 small fishes, but what are they among so many? Okay, so basically, between Philip and Andrew, they are practically saying to Jesus, we haven't got much, just a little bit of bread and fish. But Jesus was testing them out, to see what sort of faith they had in Jesus. None of them, or none of these two at least, showed any significant faith in saying to Jesus, well, you are the Lord, you feed this great multitude, if you like. There is a few drops of rain, so I'm not sure whether to do a run-up, but anyway, we'll keep going. If it gets any worse, we'll just have to leave for another day. And okay, and Jesus said, Make the men sit down. Now there was much grass in the place, so the men sat down in number about 5,000. So a lot of people would have heard Jesus feeding the 5,000. And Jesus took the loaves, and when he had given thanks, in other words, he said that big prayer, Blessed are you, Lord our God, King of the universe, who bringeth forth bread from the earth. And then, voila, Jesus got the bread and the fish, and he this from God, and then he got his disciples to, distribute in baskets, if you like, to feed the multitude. Okay, that's just basically in summary all this bit here. Okay, now let's move forward a bit to the most other important bits, if you like, of chapter 6. And we start here on chapter 6, verse 26. Jesus answered and said, Verily, verily, I say unto you, you seek me not because you saw the miracles, but because you did eat of the loaves and were filled. Labor not for the meat which perisheth, but for that meat which endureth unto everlasting life, which the Son of Man shall give unto you, for him hath God the Father sealed. Then said they unto him, What shall we do that we might work the works of God? Jesus answered and said unto them, This is the work of God, that you believe on him whom he had sent. Okay, so basically, it goes all along here. The Jews, even his disciples, are having a bit of a hard time, believing Jesus, if you like. He's already proved himself time and time again, with all the miracles that he has performed. Anyway, let's continue here on 35. And Jesus said unto them, I am the bread of life. He that cometh to me shall never hunger, and he that believeth on me shall never thirst. But I said unto you that you also have seen me, and believe not. All that the Father giveth me shall come to me, and him that cometh to me I will in no wise cast out. For I come down from heaven, not to do my own will, but the will of him that sent me. And this is the Father's will which hath sent me, that of all which he hath given me I shall lose nothing, but shall rise it up again on the last day. And this is the will of him that sent me, that everyone which sees the Son and believeth him might have everlasting life, and I will rise him up on the last day. Yeah, so basically Jesus is saying here that, God the Father sent Jesus to earth, to the Jews, Basically Jesus came to the lost sheep of the house of Israel, in other words, just to the Jews only, And Jesus just wanted to set up his kingdom with the Jews, and he wanted to rule Israel, and be their king, if you like, But the Jews kept rejecting him, and not believing in him, So Jesus just had a hard time, trying to convince the Jews, Here we go in verse 47. Verily, verily, I say unto you, he that believeth on me has everlasting life. I am the bread of life. Your fathers did eat manna in the wilderness, and are dead. This is the bread which cometh down from heaven, that a man might eat thereof and not die. I am the living bread which came down from heaven. If any man eat of this bread, he shall live forever. And this bread that I will give is my flesh, which I will give for the life of the world. So Jesus here is announcing that he's not exactly telling them that he's going to be crucified just yet, but he's kind of like letting them know that he's going to give up his life, to make blood atonement and to forgive mankind, for their sins, The last bit that I want to read here for you is this. Except that you eat the flesh of the Son of Man and drink his blood, you have no life in you. Whoso eateth my flesh and drinketh my blood has eternal life, and I will raise him up at the last day. This is kind of like a prototype, for the future gospel of salvation, in which Paul the Apostle brought to us Gentiles, the gospel of salvation basically says, which is in 1 Corinthians 15, that, Jesus died on the cross and shed his blood, and he rose again on the third day according to the scriptures. So, it's very, very similar when you read it. So, it goes on and on until the end here, basically what we can learn, from chapter 6 is, that Jesus is actually the man in 5, He wants us to believe in him, and here he's announcing like a prototype of the gospel of salvation, Hey guys, how you doing? So today I wanted to read you Psalm 142 in the Holy Bible here, and this is kind of like a prayer that you can take up, with the Lord, for those times when, you're having a little bit of a hard time in life, if you like. So I'm just gonna read you Psalm 142. You can check it out for yourself, in the Holy Bible. So it reads, I cried unto the Lord with my voice unto the Lord did I make my supplication. I pour out my complaint before him. I shewed before him my trouble. When my spirit was overwhelmed with me, then thou knewest my path. In the way wherein I walked have they privately laid a snare for me. I looked on my right hand and beheld, but there was no man that would know me. refuge found me, no man cared for my soul. I cried unto thee, O Lord, I said, thou art my refuge, and my portion in the land of the living. Attend unto my cry, for I am brought very low. Deliver me from my persecutors, for they are stronger than I. Bring my soul out of prison, that I might praise thy name. The righteous shall compass me about, for thou shalt deal bountifully with me. So yeah, that's a really good psalm, that you can pray and take it up with the Lord, Psalm 142 here. I need to head home because, the weather doesn't look great. It looks like it's gonna rain any moment now. And, I don't want to be caught up in this rain, so... I'm glad I'm only like about 5 minutes from home, thereabouts. So should be a quick run home. I came earlier to buy a few groceries and to pump the tires on my bike here. So yeah, I'm all set. I normally pump the tires every 3 weeks. I got tubeless tires, and they do have a very good sealing on them, so I don't have to pump them once a week. Once every 3 weeks is enough. Pardon me. So yeah, the gospel of salvation is very important now. We don't have a lot of time left. There's a lot of prophecy being fulfilled right now. And we have to get saved. This is what I'm doing this video for you guys. Sorry about my cough and everything else. Yeah, just been sick, with the flu. For about a week now. I'm getting better now. The asthma now is not too bad. It's kind of like almost gone. Every now and then it plays a little bit, but not as much now. So I'm feeling really good now. So yeah. I think that in a day or two I should be back to normal. I'm just about over with everything. So I really looked after myself this time around. I didn't get out and do any exercise or or anything like that. Just basically stay home and took it easy, and they say it's gonna rain for the next couple of days, and then it should find up by Friday. Today's Tuesday, so yeah, the sky doesn't look too great, does it? Sorry for reading, the Gospel of John in chapter 6 a little bit quick. I really wanted to get that over and done with, and the thing is that the weather is not too great, as you can see. It looks quite dark and looks like it's gonna rain at any moment. And I just want to get home, and I want to give you something, and the main thing that I can give you is the gospel of salvation. Anyway, I actually quite enjoy doing all these little Bible readings, if you like, or fun Bible studies and things like that. I actually quite enjoy doing this, and I'm gonna start choosing Psalms and Proverbs and different parts of the Bible and things like that, and I'll discuss them with you. I know that I probably haven't done a great job. I wanted to read everything in John chapter 6, but the thing is that it's either I'll give it to you now in a very condensed manner, if you like, or you can wait until the next few days when the rain goes away, and then I can give you a much better version of it. The main message there in the Gospel of John in chapter 6 is it's all a matter of faith. Jesus was sent by God. He demands that we believe in Him. He demands that we accept the gospel of salvation. It's the only way you know, to get saved, you know. And you know, just because there are some people out there in the world that might not believe in the gospel of salvation, or they don't really care about, you know, Catholicism or Christianity or whatever, you know, that doesn't mean that you are right, you know. Let me ask you a question. What if you are wrong? What if you don't believe in the gospel of salvation, and then, you know, and you die, and then the only place that you can go is pretty much hell? There isn't another medium for you that you can go to. Hell is the only place that you can go, because you have rejected, you know, the gift of grace that God has given you. There is no other place for you, you know. So that's why you really need to believe, you know. And believing is free. Doesn't cost you anything, you know. The gospel of salvation is a free gift to all. So there's a little bit more traffic now because it's kind of like peak hour traffic for school kids. They're coming out of school and all the parents are kind of like crazy, picking them all up, and you know, there's a bit of traffic. It's already like 4 p.m. in the afternoon. So we are here in Sydney. We're in the middle of fall, if you like, or autumn, you know. And you know, the sun goes down at around, you know, 6 p.m., something like that, or maybe just a little bit before it. So yeah, this is my suburb, and this is kind of like the main street in my suburb, if you like. It's called Darling Street. And yeah, this road can get really busy at times, especially, you know, during peak hour traffic periods. I live in a peninsula, you see. I only live like 7 or 8 minutes drive from, you know, downtown Sydney, you know. And so yeah, this is kind of like a really thin peninsula where, you know, it's got a lot of narrow streets, and you know, there's a lot of nice little shops here too, in my area, like very boutique, you know, boutique style shops, you know. It's kind of like a bit of a trendy suburb sort of thing. And well, I'm just glad that I'm going home. Yeah, you know, it's gonna rain soon. I just don't want to get wet. This GoPro that I'm using is not waterproof. It's an old GoPro 3. I do have newer models, but I just like this GoPro 3. It does a good job, you know. Alright guys, I talk to you guys later, and you know, thanks for watching.